All right, good evening, KMA listeners here as we are doing the KMA Extreme audio-only version of this Class 1A regional quarterfinal here in volleyball as we have the St. Albert Saints hosting the Exira Elkhorn Kimballton Spartans. Class 1A underway. KMA Trail Tournament Trail is underway as well. We are full-fledged running. We have 4 different coverages tonight. AM and FM will be having games on there, and then there's 2 audio-only versions of other playoff volleyball happening in the KMA listening area. Here in Council Bluffs, you have Dusty Scahill on the call as St. Albert will be hosting Exira EHK. These 2 squads have played before in this season. St. Albert did win that one in a Harlan tournament sweep, 2-0. But that was all the way back in August. That was August 30th. That was a long time ago. These teams are different now. We got 2 good matchups here. We have Exira EHK coming in 13-12 on the year, winners of 3 of their last 4 as well. So Coach Derek Reischauer has his team rolling here, playing some pretty good volleyball. But Coach Angie Lance for the St. Albert Saints has the same thing. They're 15-15 on the year, but man, they faced a tough schedule. They are battle-tested, and not many 1A teams are going to want to run into the St. Albert Saints coming this postseason here. We're getting ready to do the national anthem. This volleyball match will be coming up right after this here on KMA Extreme.
High school juniors and seniors, don't miss the Next Gen Tech Expo, November 8th in Council Bluffs. Hosted by AgriVision Equipment and Prairieland Partners, this is your chance to show off your skills and compete for a chance to win prizes and a spot in the 2026 We Lead Technician Institute. Earn paid tuition, tools, housing, benefits, and a paycheck. Register now at agrivisionequipment.com.
Our name says it all. We're Total Farm Solutions. This is Eric with TFS, and when it comes to your operation, we want to be your total partner in and out of the field. We're your Pioneer seed dealer, along with bulk options and seed treatments. And we study genetics, offering scouting and agronomic solutions. Taking care of our customer is part of our total service. We're Total Farm Solutions. Give us a call or find our office just outside of Carson.
Shenandoah Medical Center, in collaboration with MD West 1, provides the most comprehensive orthopedic care in our region. Whether you have pain stemming from an athletic injury or overuse, you will have immediate access to high-quality orthopedic care. My name is Michael Delcor, and I am an orthopedic surgeon specializing in the upper extremity. Whatever the case, I will work with you to determine the best treatment plan. For more information about our extensive orthopedic coverage, simply call 712-246-7400.
All right, welcome back, KMA listeners here. Audio-only version of this Class 1A regional quarterfinal here on KMA Extreme. Thank you to all of our sportscasters, sponsors out there for even making this possible. We have 4 coverages here in KMA Land Volleyball tonight. Here we have St. Albert hosting the Exira EHK Spartans. Records say they're pretty evenly matched. They have faced once before in this year. St. Albert came out victorious. Like I said earlier in that pregame, it was back in August, so a lot of time for growth here as coaches are shouting out their last little bit of instructions here. Coach Reischauer shouting to his girls. They are 13-12 on the year. Defeated Cam in their earlier postseason run for this Region 6 playoff tournament. Sweeping Cam 3-0. Improving on to 13-12, have a winning record at the moment here. Got to get by the St. Albert Saints if they want to continue that season on. Coach Angie Lance and their team in the Hawkeye 10 playing some pretty good ball. Finished 6-4 in the conference, in the very tough Hawkeye 10 conference. The other Clarendon team, Clarendon finished 6-4 as well. They're 25-11, so that just shows that the 15-15 record means nothing. We are underway here as St. Albert is going to be serving first. Grace Christensen, the libero, is the first one to serve. And the good first set for St. Albert is going to be going to Naomi Sherrill, the junior outside hitter, starts things off with a nice kill. St. Albert getting quickly out on that front, that lead. Christensen back to serve again here. near ace on their first serve, too low into the net on the second, so the missed serve gets to a side out for Exira EHK. 1-1 here early on. Exira gives that missed serve favor right back as that one goes into the net. Just like that, Saints are back on their service. Cheryl back to serve. Exira can't quite handle that serve on the defensive front. Cheryl gets an ace as kind of ate up the Spartan defender on whether to bump it or have that two-handed set. Miss hit. Error leads to the ace. Cheryl back to serve once again. It's going to be a give and go. Jalen Peterson to the setter, Zoe Rasmussen, but it is blocked there from the front of St. Albert. Might be Molly Wise getting in there, making that block defensively. Nonetheless, it's 4-1 St. Albert. That serve from Cheryl goes long, so 2 missed serves equals 2 Spartan points. 4-2, the Saints are leading early on here. Exira now has the service. Brooklyn Snyder back to serve. Wise with the bump to Brooklyn Rutledge on the outside. Rutledge hammers one down. Rutledge leading the team in kills on the season. Starts off there with that one on her first swing. Finds the floor. Side out for the Saints. Cheryl, Rutledge, and Denton, Sophia Denton are the three-headed monster killers for the Saints here on the year. A third miss serve here for St. Albert's, and that's how Exira has all of their points. Wise setting up Rutledge once again on that far side. It is defended at the moment. Peterson can only tip it, but the 2-hit violation on the Spartans will mean a point for St. Albert and another side out. 6-3 here. Alexa Lenz back to serve. Rasmussen setting up the running, swinging Jalen Peterson on her kill attempt. Blocked from the outside. Rutledge gets that one. It is second block for St. Albert. 7-3 the score. And another miss serve that goes long. That one sent long from Lenz, so 4 miss serves, 4 miss hits, 4 points for Exira. Let's see if Jalen Peterson and her serve can actually get one on their service for the Spartans here. Running jump serve goes low. Lily Denton has to dig it for St. Albert. It is going to be Sophia Denton on the swing, but Exira does defend it. Nice swing there from Taryn Peterson, but that is defended from St. Albert. An overpass and given right back, so Exira is going to set up their set. Taryn Peterson can only tip it. It is actually tipped long. Good decision there from Cheryl of St. Albert to opt not to defend that. 8-4 the score now. St. Albert leads. Brooklyn Rutledge back to serve. Nice hard one there from Rutledge. Exira does defend it up. Taryn Peterson, good swing on it, but out of bounds long on that hit. Just too much oomph into that one. Had good trajectory on it. Was nice and low, but just sailed long. 9-4 here. St. Albert with that lead. Another low one there from Rutledge, and it does send Exira out of communication, and that falls for an ace. It was bumped initially, but pretty much straight up in the air, and the void never got filled for Exira. Ace serve from Rutledge, her first. St. Albert's second of the set. And another, well, it's going to be out of an overpass. Exira had to give it back to save that ace opportunity. They are going to get another one, though. Rasmussen's going to set up. Taryn Peterson for Exira EHK, and she finds the floor. That's the first point for Exira that didn't come from a serve going out of bounds for St. Albert. 10-5 is the score. Zoe Rasmussen, the sophomore setter, back to serve. Setting up in the middle, a tip only for Sophia Denton. So Exira's going to get a good one. Taryn Peterson takes a full swing at it. Net violation, though. Was going to go long on that kill attempt, but St. Albert was in the net, so that's going to be a point for St. Albert. Point for Exira, EHK. And Rasmussen's service continues 10-6 here. Ace serve for Rasmussen as that kind of crossed up Shepard on the back row for St. Albert. Ace serve makes it 10-7. Teams first for Exira as Rasmussen registers that one. She continues on the service, down 3. Sophia Denton setting up Cheryl on the outside. It is defended, but it's going to be a under the net violation as the setter had to go scrambling for Rasmussen, had to get to it. Feet cross the line. Violation sends a side out back to St. Albert. Wise on the serve for St. Albert. Going to get a set, giving it to Cheryl on the outside for the Saints. It is blocked and defended. Taryn Peterson for Exira puts a good swing on it, gets through the block, and falls down. She's put a couple of good swings on it there from the outside, has the junior outside hitter. Good side out there for the Spartans. It's going to send Briley Peterson back to serve now, the sophomore. 3 Petersons here playing a lot of rotations for Exira, so take note on those first names. Naomi Cheryl finds the floor for the second time for the Spartans. Quick side out, 12-8. St. Albert gets their service back. They've gone through the rotation. Grace Christensen going to serve for the second time in this set. Rasmussen with a decent scramble to even get it to the passover situation, so St. Albert's going to have a good one. Cheryl can only tip it, but tipped right back does the Spartans. So from the middle, it's going to be Lentz. Nice diving save there from Jalen Peterson. Exira sends a rollover shot, so Wise is going to set up Cheryl on the outside. That goes long, no tip. So that kill attempt goes long for St. Albert. 12-9. The Spartans trailing by 3. Taryn Peterson back to serve. Wise setting up Cheryl on the outside. Kind of a more controlled swing, but it still had good pace on it. Hit the net, rolled over with some topspin. Found the floor for St. Albert. Third one for Cheryl to lead the Saints here. Rutledge checks back in for Shepard. Naomi Cheryl back to serve. Rasmussen trying to get a give and go to Jalen Peterson. Tipped and falls on St. Albert's side of the court. So nice job from Jalen Peterson to just get a 50-50 ball hand on it. Side out. Both teams in double digits now, 13-10. St. Albert can't pull away here in set 1. Exira, EHK hanging around. Getting some good swings here from Taryn Peterson. Rutledge from the outside for St. Albert. That was a great set and a no-doubt swing from Rutledge. The junior outside hitter gets her second kill. Back and forth with another side out. Lily Denton back to serve for St. Albert. Four-point lead for the home team Saints. Nice set there, but Jalen Peterson can just tip it over. Rutledge with another hammer, but a nice defense dig from Taryn Peterson. 2-hit violation on Exira EHK on the send over, so it's going to be Denton continuing on her service. 5-point lead here for St. Albert. Biggest lead of this set, I believe, is this 5 points for St. Albert. Rasmussen, give and go to Jalen Peterson. Dig by Jalen, set back right to her, and she hammers that one home. Her first swinging kill. Gets it to 15-11 here. Brooklyn Brabham, the freshman, back to serve, sends it long. Miss hit, side out right back to St. Albert, back to a 5-point lead. Second missed serve for Exira EHK in this set. Alexa Lenz back to serve for St. Albert. Rasmussen in the middle to Braylon Peterson, 50-50 ball. She goes for the tip, and that hits the line. Nice job to make a scramble moment out of something there. Braylon Peterson finds a tip, gets a point. Jalen Peterson. The senior Jalen Peterson, wearing number 15. Now she's back to serve. She sends that one long. That you can tell almost right out of her hand. That one had too much pace. 17-12 is the score here in set one. Brooklyn Rutledge back to serve for St. Albert. Man, Rutledge has had some good serves here early in set one. Low and with incredible pace. Just a free pass over from St. Albert, giving it to Cheryl on the outside. Just a tip is all St. Albert can get out of it. Taryn Peterson tips it right back, so St. Albert going to get a good set out of it. Naomi Cheryl, nice hard hit. Sent back over from EHK's defense. Sophia Denton gets her first good swing on one. Through the block, finds the floor. Nice swing there from the junior outside middle hitter. Middle hitter Sophia Denton, her first one. So 6 kills for the three-headed monster of that front line from St. Albert here early on. Makes it 18-12. Rutledge service continues. Rasmussen going to set Taryn Peterson up. And she continues on with her good set. Her second kill goes through the block attempt as St. Albert gets the ball right back to the Spartans. Rasmussen, their setter for Coach Reischauer, back to serve. 18-13, 5-point deficit, and yet another one. 3 back-to-back-to-back miss hits for Exira on their serves. You're trying to pull redemption, get a revenge win here, especially in the postseason. Miss hits, miss serves cannot happen. Molly Wise back to serve for St. Albert. 6-point lead now. Taryn Peterson from the middle. Hard hit, and it actually was going to be an overpass, but it was hit. A light came back on St. Albert's side, and they had no idea. So that falls for a side out. Nice kill there from Taryn Peterson, her third. Another miss serve. 4 in a row for Exira on their serves. 20-14 here. 6-point lead. Biggest for St. Albert. No timeouts. It's been back and forth enough. St. Albert has stretched it to 6 though here. And they got that all-important 20th point. Kind of a scramble moment here on the serve, so it's going to be a free pass, free ball for the Saints. Just a tip is all Cheryl can get out of it. Peterson's going to try to have a rollover shot, but Wise will set up Lenz on the tip. That goes out of bounds, so St. Albert can't take advantage of that 6-point lead. The 20th point, side out. 4 serves in a row. Out of bounds for the Spartans. Let's see if Taryn Peters can correct that. She does at least get it in bounds, making St. Albert going to earn this one. Lenz swings it hard on the dig. It hits the ceiling for the Spartans. They stick with it, get it over. So the volley continues. Cheryl on the setup from the outside. Nice defense from the Spartans backcourt. Volley continues on the rollover shot. Cheryl from the outside again on a nice setup. That was right down the line and inbounds. Nice one there from Cheryl. Her 4th on the set. She's leading all hitters 21-15. Coach Reischauer shouting out his defense. Some instructions. Only 4 points left to go here for St. Albert. 6-point deficit. Naomi Cheryl back to serve, and an ace serve at that. Her second of the set. Third for St. Albert, 22-15. Coach Reischauer still sitting on 2 timeouts. Ball trickles into the hallway. Nobody's able to hustle up to retrieve it here, so going to get a sub ball in, get a new ball in. That must have really been rolling down the hallway. 22-15 here in set 1. Naomi Cheryl back to serve. Rasmussen having to do a bump to Briley Peterson. No, that's going to be Jalen Peterson on the swing, and man, that's probably the best hit one she's had. Give her a 4th kill on the set. Big side out, 22-16. Aubrey Nelson in to serve for the first time here. As Exira down 6 points, get a quick set to Briley Peterson. She gets an aggressive tip over, but St. Albert does cover. They have to send one over. Exira going to get a good look at it in the middle on a quick set to Briley Peterson. Blocked up from St. Albert, and it's going to be a 4-hit violation on Exira. Side out, 23rd point for St. Albert. Now leading by 7. Lily Denton back to serve, almost an ace serve, and really the rollover shot goes flying out of bounds on Exira EHK. Set point coming up here, 24-16. No timeouts taken at all here from either squad. Exira just sending over a free pass here. Brooklyn Rutledge going to get a great swing on it, and she ends it there, 25-16. The hammer down by Rutledge ends it here. St. Albert takes it 25-16 in set 1. Will bring you set number 2 coming up.
This is Sid with Shaw Ag near Trainer. I'm learning all of the ins and outs of agronomy with my dad, Shane. I've learned that Pioneer seed is second to none and that they back that up with proven products and yields. I've also learned that if our customers have a question or a concern, we'll work until we figure out the answer or solution. I'm learning all of this because at Shaw Ag, we've made a commitment, and that commitment is our family helping yours. Call Shane at 712-520-1333.
High school juniors and seniors, don't miss the Next Gen Tech Expo, November 8th in Council Bluffs. Hosted by Agrivision Equipment and Prairieland Partners, this is your chance to show off your skills and compete for a chance to win prizes and a spot in the 2026 We Lead Technician Institute. Earn paid tuition, tools, housing, benefits, and a paycheck. Register now at agrivisionequipment.com.
Is believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and barrettsautocenter.com.
Sure what you want to do with your life? Feel like your job is at a standstill? Get your foot in the door with area manufacturing companies at Iowa Western Community College's SEAM program. Sign up now in the Center of Excellence for Advanced Manufacturing through IWCC. Classes are just 2 early evenings a week with holidays and summers off. Improve your current skills and learn new ones that will give you a new career or even enhance your current one. For more information on SEAM, contact IWCC's Clarinda Center at 712-542-5117.
All right, welcome back, KMA listeners, here on this audio-only version of Class 1A Regional Quarterfinal Volleyball here. We are in Council Bluffs on this KMA Extreme. Dusty Scahill here bringing you St. Albert hosting Exira EHK in this volleyball matchup. St. Albert taking set 1, 25-16. Ended up winning by 9, but man, it was back and forth, pretty much 3-point game until the mid-teens, and then after that, St. Albert stretched it out and really put the pedal on towards the end of the set. 25-16, they take set 1. We're starting off set 2 right away, and man, Taryn Peterson had a good set 1 offensively for the Spartans. She starts it off with an ace serve here, getting Exira EHK their first lead of the match here. Peterson had some good swings here for Exira. She has another nice serve. Starting it off with an ace, going right at another aggressive one. Rasmussen setting up. Jalen Peterson in the middle, kind of got underneath that swing, sails it out of bounds. Side out for St. Albert. Rasmussen setting up Peterson too low on that one from Jalen Peterson into the net. 2-1. Cheryl with that serve will continue on here. Trying to look around Twitter here. Derek Martin on the call with Fremont Mills and Mount Air going at it. Looks like they're in set one. Mount Air leading 22-20 on the last update from Derek, so check that out on the KMA. I believe he's on the FM tonight. Or the AM, I can't remember which one Derek's on. We're on both of them for volleyball matchup. Big swing here from St. Albert. It's going to be a 3-1 lead now. Jalen Peterson, big swing. Block helps St. Albert defend it, so this volley continues. Miss hit out of the hands of Brooklyn Rutledge. That's rare. Miss hit goes off the side of her hands. Side out, 3-2. St. Albert still leading, though. On the serve, it's going to go around the pole, so ace serve going to be up there for Brooklyn. Snyder. First action I've seen from her tonight. Ace serve, ties it up 3-3. Into the net, though, for her next serve, so that gives St. Albert the lead back and the serve. Lily Denton checking in to do that for St. Albert. Denton back to serve. Going to be a free pass over from Exira. Does kind of send St. Albert scrambling, so they're going to get just a tip over. Rasmussen to Jalen Peterson in the middle. Blocked from the front line of the Saints. Taryn Peterson from the back row. Rollover shot. Rutledge for St. Albert's. Crushes one in the middle where nobody is. Nice set there from the Saints. Rutledge gets her first of this set. 5-3. St. Albert leads. Rasmussen setting up. Jalen Peterson kind of got a miss hit on that one. Still volley, still going. Wise tried to do a quick set, but actually has a 2-hit violation off of her sneaky hit there. Violation goes back to the Spartans. Make that 5-4 now. Brooklyn Brabham back to serve the freshman. Sends it long, and it's actually not sent long. It is going to be clipping the line, inbounds. St. Albert thought that was going to sail. A dive at the last second. Ace serve for Brabham. Third one of the set for Exira EHK. That one is sent long from the freshman Spartan. Second one for the Spartans here in set number 2. Side out back to St. Albert. Sends Alexa Lenz in to serve. Rasmussen to Jalen Peterson. Off the tip. Goes out of bounds, but that was off of the tip. So it's going to be a point on the kill for Jalen Peterson. She led the Spartans with 4 kills in set 1. She quickly gets one here to start off set number 2. Ties it up 6-6. St. Albert can only get a tip over. Taryn Peterson sees everybody sucking up against the net, so she sends it right back over the defensive back row for St. Albert, and Exira EHK leading here 7-6. Their latest lead here. Nice serve there from Jalen Peterson. Gets an overpass, so Exira is going to have one to work with. They just send it over, though, so Wally Wise will set up Rutledge on the outside. Rollover shot. But Exira can only just get a free pass over. Sophia Denton from the middle. Kind of mistimed her hit. Threw a changeup swing at that one. Drops in right in the middle of the defense of the Spartans. So Sophia Denton mark it down as a kill, but didn't quite time her jump. Gets her second on the night from the middle here. 7-7. Tied up. Rasmussen setting up Taryn Peterson on the outside. Just a tip here, so Molly Wise will set up Naomi Sherrill on that outside. Exira defends it, but they're going to bump it over for their third hit. Now Wise will set up Denton in the middle on that quick set. Hits the floor. Nice one there from Sophia Denton. Good set from Wise. Denton did the rest. 8-7 here, and now it's 8-7 on this back and forth affair. Coach Reischauer will take a timeout. We'll be back after this to bring you more.
Ready to grow your future with a bank that truly cares? Welcome to Malvern Bank, where we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success. At Malvern Bank, we specialize in ag loans that help our local farmers thrive. Whether you're planting seeds for the future or expanding your current operations, we've got the financing solutions to help your farm flourish. So why wait? Visit us today and see how Malvern Bank can make a difference in your life. Together, let's grow our future. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ready to grow your future with a bank that truly cares? Welcome to Malvern Bank, where we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success. At Malvern Bank, we specialize in ag loans that help our local farmers thrive. Whether you're planting seeds for the future or expanding your current operations, we've got the financing solutions to help your farm flourish. So why wait? Visit us today and see how Malvern Bank can make a difference in your life. Together, let's grow our future. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ready to grow your future with a bank that truly cares? Welcome to Malvern.
All right, welcome back here after that timeout. We are back in action as there's a nice block there from Peterson in the middle. So Rasmussen is going to set up Taryn Peterson, just a tip over. So Wise will set up Cheryl from the outside. Another tip back from St. Albert, though. Taryn Peterson from the outside again is blocked for a moment, but nobody there as that ball changes direction. Side out. 8-8 is that score here. Exira EHK tying it up. Rasmussen back to serve. A tip from St. Albert kind of sends Exira EHK scrambling, and their hit actually goes around the pole, so that's going to count for a point for the Saints. Get their lead back here. Molly Wise is going to go back to serve. Jocelyn Boswell checking in for the Saints on the front row. A couple passes back and forth, and that is a 50-50 ball that Taryn Peterson meets at the net and slams down to tie it back up here. Nice read there from Taryn Peterson. Gets a big kill. Give her 6 on the night. But the serve from Briley Peterson goes out of bounds. Third of this set, 8 of the night for Exira EHK on their serves, not getting them inbounds and just giving St. Albert some free points. Grace Christensen back to serve the libero for the Saints and St. Albert. Taryn Peterson on a loop around swinging kill, but is defended. Cheryl's going to tip it, and that is blocked by Taryn Peterson. She's playing some outstanding front row play from all over, all sides of the net. She's just there at the right time. Mark her down for a block. She's going to keep serving here. It's tied up 10-10. Tip from the Saints going to be set up. Rasmussen going to Jalen Peterson in the middle, but that's blocked there. Cheryl and Lenz were there for the front of the Saints. Side out for St. Albert. They take that lead back there as Exira ties it up. Back and forth here in set 2. Naomi Cheryl back to serve for St. Albert, and it is going to be a service violation there on Exira, so it's going to be a quick point for the Saints. 12-10. Don't believe they were quite set up in their formation yet. Get caught out of form. Service continues for the Saints. Rasmussen give and go pretty much to Jalen Peterson. Blocked. Exira can have a send back over from Taryn Peterson. St. Albert handles it. Brooklyn Rutledge gets a good set, hammers that one. Another no-doubter from Brooklyn Rutledge. 13-10, St. Albert back to their biggest lead of the set, I believe, at 3 points. Exira has had the lead in this back and forth affair here in set 2. Cheryl back to serve. Jalen Peterson from the far goes cross court, cannot get it in bounds though. Along that back corner, 14-10 now. St. Albert extends it. Cheryl, another aggressive serve, overpass, and that is right at Brooklyn Rutledge, and man, she sends it straight down. I bet her eyes were as big as saucers when she saw that one come back to her. Third kill point for Rutledge in this set. Extends that lead to 15-10 here. Set one was decently close as we could approach those teens, and then it just kind of kept edging it forward with that lead for St. Albert. Ace serve from Cheryl makes another point. This run is happening quick, 6-0 run. Coach Reischauer has to take his last timeout, and it's early in set two, taking that last one. 16-10 is the lead for St. Albert. We'll be back after this to
Nutrien Ag Solutions takes the responsibility of growing seriously. As a leader in the ag sector, they provide their customers with complete agriculture solutions, including nutrients, crop protection products, seed, service, and digital tools for optimum customer success. Talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Coyne, Percival, and Essex. Nutrien Ag Solutions, transforming agriculture and feeding the future. Nutrien Ag.
High school juniors and seniors, don't miss the Next Gen Tech Expo, November 8th in Council Bluffs. Hosted by Agrivision Equipment and Prairieland Partners, this is your chance to show off your skills and compete for a chance to win prizes and a spot in the 2026 We Lead Technician Institute. Earn paid tuition, tools, housing, benefits, and a paycheck. Register now at agrivisionequipment.com.
All right, welcome back, KMA audio only listeners here on that timeout. St. Albert back still on their service. Got 17-10 here in set two. Naomi Sherrill sends that one long, though. Had a good run on her service. Had a 7-point run, actually, for the Saints. Now it's 17-11 here. Snyder back to serve for the Spartans. Rutledge, nice hard one, is defended from the back row of the Spartans. Free pass, though, as it's going to be bumped on over. Wise going to set up Rutledge once again. Why not? The block does help the defenders get that one for the Spartans. Jalen Peterson sends one over. The block helps the Saints defend it. Spartans front line blocks it, which helps them get one over from Taryn Peterson, but her kill attempt goes long. Good volley there from Exira EHK, but makes it 18-11. Side out there for the Saints. Lily Denton checks in and is going to be on the serve. Seven-point lead for the Saints. They lead 1-0 on sets as well. 50-50 ball. Brooklyn Rutledge versus a setter, Rasmussen, who has kind of backpedaling into it. Rutledge is going to win that matchup 10 times out of 10. Give her a block at the net. Give that an 8-point lead. Denton. Nice dig from the Spartans. Going to get Jalen Peterson in the middle. St. Albert defends that. Rutledge from the outside can just... had to adjust and hit with her offhand. It hits the pole, so it's going to be a side out, 19-12. Spartans are trying to stop this little run here, which is a 9-2 run, and now we're late in set two. About the beginning third, it was back and forth, back and forth. Rutledge on her actually went, had to go opposite hand, popped it over, somehow ended up getting it over the net. The Spartans had to dive to defend it, and a net violation gives it back to St. Albert. 20th point, big one there, 8-point lead. Brooklyn Rutledge gets a prayer over for the Saints. 20-12 now the lead. Len's nice hard serve sends EHK scrambling. Actually, they don't even get it over. The rollover shot goes into the net. 21-12 here, 9-point lead, the biggest for the Saints in set two. Lenz's serve goes deep, but the Spartans defend it. Jalen Peterson run around, swing and kill, goes through the block as well. That had some good velocity on it. Peterson gets her second of the set. 21-13 on the side out. Now she'll be back to serve. Senior outside hitter. She actually sends it long on that one, so fourth miss serve of the set. Makes it 22-13. 9 total. Free ones on the serve from EHK. Another out of set, out of formation on a serve from St. Albert, and EHK gets another point away. 2 violations in this set alone in that variety. So Coach Reischauer, no more timeouts to talk it over. Just has to be able to shout out there to his defense on how to defend this. We're at 23-13, 10-point lead here. Looking around, Fremont Mills actually coming back and taking set one. Fremont Mills taking set one from Mount Airy, 26-24 in extra points. Derek Martin in a thriller there. Check that out on KMA FM 99.1. Fremont Mills leading 1-0 in sets of that matchup. We're talking over forms, and so I'll give me more opportunity to look around here. Trevor Mader, he's in Neola for Tri-Center in Missouri Valley. Set one, Missouri Valley takes it 25-21. And Missouri Valley leading in set two, 8-2 as well. So Lady Reds looking pretty good there in Tri-Center. 23-13 here. We are back in action. Brooklyn Rutledge back to serve for St. Albert. They got that 10-point lead. 2 points to go here. Briley Peterson, aggressive tip, but St. Albert does defend it. Free pass coming over, though, so Exira has a good set to work with. Rasmussen to Taryn Peterson, and she slams it through the block attempt. Slams it down for her third of the set. She leads the Spartans with 7 on the night. 23-14. Zoe Rasmussen back to serve for Exira EHK. Wise to Denton in the middle. Through the block attempt of the Spartans and down. Denton gets one. Her third of the set, actually. Had 2 early ones. Gets that one there to set point now as we got a 10-point lead and only 1 point to go here before St. Albert's takes set 2. Wise on the serve here, set point, and that is blocked from Denton, and the Spartans take set number 2, 25-14. So a 15-4 run to end that set takes it for St. Albert. We'll be back after this to bring you set number 3 as St. Albert's going to go for that sweep here on this game.
With a chronic respiratory condition, Rogers Pharmacy can provide what you need. Rogers Pharmacy offers a full line of respiratory equipment like oxygen, BiPAP, CPAP, and nebulizers. Rogers Pharmacy isn't a big box pharmacy where you may have to wait for days and weeks to get what you need. They're a full-service, independent, family-owned pharmacy, and they go above and beyond to offer you the quality service and products you deserve. See Rogers Pharmacy in Tarkio, Maryville, Mound City, St. Joseph, and Stanberry, Missouri. Visit Rogers Pharmacy online at rogersrx.com.
No one succeeds alone. It takes support to get there, sacrifices made by others, wisdom learned and passed on. When your business is agriculture, you dedicate your life to supporting community, doing the hard work that helps all of us thrive. It's why at PCSB, we believe in supporting you. Your success makes our community succeed. PCSB, we believe in you. Visit us online at wearepcsb.com. Member FDIC.
Agricultural business majors at Northwest Missouri State University gain the knowledge and the experiences of agriculture as well as business foundations. Northwest's faculty focuses on 4 core areas: agricultural finance, agricultural marketing, agricultural policy, and economics of agricultural production. Career opportunities in this field at Northwest include agricultural sales representative, grain merchandising, agricultural lender, operations manager, and claims adjuster. Find out more about an agricultural business major at Northwest Missouri State University.
Nutrien Ag Solutions takes the responsibility of growing seriously. As a leader in the ag sector, they provide their customers with complete agriculture solutions, including nutrients, crop protection products, seed, service, and digital tools for optimum customer success. Talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Coyne, Percival, and Essex. Nutrien Ag Solutions, transforming agriculture and feeding the future.
to grow your future with a bank that truly cares? Welcome to Malvern Bank, where we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success. At Malvern Bank, we specialize in ag loans that help our local farmers thrive. Whether you're planting seeds for the future or expanding your current operations, we've got the financing solutions to help your farm flourish. So why wait? Visit us today and see how Malvern Bank can make a difference in your life. Together, let's grow our future. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, welcome back here. KMA audio only listeners here of this KMA Extreme Class 1A Regional Quarterfinal. St. Albert up 2 sets to 0 on Exira EHK. We're heading into set 3 here. St. Albert starting off with the serve. Briley Peterson from the back row for EHK goes into the net. St. Albert starting off with a serve and a quick point here as they lead 1-0. Christensen still serving, the libero for the Saints. Free ball pass coming over from Exira. Going to be setting up Cheryl from the outside. She led set 1 with 4. Didn't have any last set, but didn't matter. St. Albert still won that one. She starts off this one with a kill. So now she has 5 on the night. 2-0 is that lead. Winner of this game is going to be facing Audubon or Woodbine, the winner of that one. St. Albert wins, though we'll be hosting that. Spartans are scrambling, going to give a free pass over. Christensen going to give it to Wise. Wise to the middle to Lenz, but just a tip over there. Not a great timed set piece from St. Albert. Tip from Taryn Peterson goes to the back corner. Nobody there for St. Albert. Side out. Spartans are on the board here in set 3. Taryn Peterson got that point. Now she is back to serve for the Spartans. Cheryl getting a good set from St. Albert on the outside and actually hits the pole out of bounds, so that's going to be tied up. Never mind, that's going to be a miss hit on the side of Exira EHK. I misread that, so that violation hit side out back to St. Albert. Gives them the serve. Naomi Cheryl back to serve. Now the 3-1 lead. Blocked from St. Albert. Defensive front. Then a net violation will cost St. Albert a point. Get that side out to the Spartans. 3-2 is the St. Albert lead. Back to serve Brooklyn Schneider. Wise setting up Rutledge on that outside. Kind of far back from the net, but that still gets a nice hard swing. Overpass is going to give St. Albert another good one. Rutledge gets a better swing on that one. She was closer to the net. That one finds the floor. 7th kill on the night for the junior. Lily Denton back to serve. 2-point lead here. Zyra going to get set up to Jalen Peterson, but is blocked on the defensive front. Wise is there for her second on the night. 5th block from the defensive front for the Saints. 5-2 the lead. Lily Denton still back to serve. East Mills leading 2-0 on their side of the thing. That's the same region here. That either St. Albert or one of these teams can be facing East Mills later on down the road. They're up 2-0 on Mormon Trail. Brooklyn Rutledge with a great set piece from the Saints, and she slams that one to the floor. 2 good ones in a row from her. 6-2 that lead here. Like I said, the winner of this game is going to be facing the winner of Audubon and Woodbine. Going to be here at St. Albert on Monday, it looks like. The 27th, going to be on Monday. Denton back to serve, leading by 4, 50-50 ball, so it's going to be corralled by St. Albert, but they're going to have to send a bump free pass over. Rasmussen going to give it to Taryn Peterson in the middle of the court. Side goes for the side, out of bounds hit though. 7-2 St. Albert with that lead. Denton service still continuing on here. 5-point lead here. Quick jolt out for Coach Lance and her team. Rasmussen going to get a quick set to Jalen Peterson in the middle. St. Albert defends it. Rutledge kind of improvises a second hit. Great gather on it, sends it to the sideline, and it gets it to fall. Good precision and speed on that kill from Rutledge. Give her another one. She's got the hot hand in this set. 3 early on here. It's that 8-2 lead. Rasmussen setting up Peterson from that back row though again, so not much oomph on it. Saints defend it. Rutledge sends a tip over, fools the defense of the Spartans and gets another point. Another one goes to the floor for the Saints. 9-2, extending that lead to 7 points here early on. Already leading 2-0 here. Jalen Peterson from the outside slams that one through the block attempt. That had some good oomph on it. 9-3 on that side out is that score now. Brooklyn Brabham looks like she'll be back to serve for the Spartans. Cheryl on the dig to Wise. Wise looking for Rutledge on that far side. Another tip, and it is successful. Nice job of pulling off there and getting one over the net, and it still lands. 10-3 on that side out here. Rutledge finds the floor. Alexa Lenz back to serve, the junior for the Saints. Cheryl setting up to Wise. Wise going to a rollover shot from the Saints. So Exira going to set up Jalen Peterson in the middle. A nice set piece there from the Spartans. Peterson does the rest. Two in a row in this set. Give her 7 on the night. Miss serve from the Spartans makes it 11-4. Miss serve, first one of the set, but they had too many in sets 1 and 2 and didn't want any more here in set 3, but that continues on here. Nice hard serve there from Shepard. Actually, that's going to go down for an ace. Ace serve from Shepard. Gives that lead 12-4 now. Just already extending that lead here are the Saints. Set piece Wise going to the middle to Denton. Nice block there from Jalen Peterson. So the volley continues. Sherrills is blocked by Peterson as well. So another send over here for St. Albert. Exira is going to get a good set piece out of it. Taryn Peterson sends it over. So now St. Albert going to get a good one. Cheryl from the outside goes through the block, finds the floor. Naomi Cheryl gets the 13th point there for St. Albert. Her second on the set. Give her 6 on the night. Shepard still back to serve. Lead extends. They can stay aggressive with their serve, so it's going to be a free one from Exira. So Cheryl's going to get a good swing at this one. Good defense there from Taryn Peterson. She gets the give and go, actually, but that's blocked there from Wise in the middle once again. Third block from Wise. 14-4, 10-point lead early here in set 3. St. Albert looking for that clean set sweep here. It's like Missouri Valley leading 2-0 over Tri-Center. In Tri-Center, so the Lady Reds playing some good ball, looking to advance on the road here. That's blocked from the Spartans defense. Good block there for Exira EHK. Gets that side out. 14-5, stops that run. Zoe Rasmussen back to serve here. Wise setting up Cheryl from the outside. Block goes out of bounds. 15-5 here. 10-point lead, 10 points to go. Ava Jones checking in to the ball game. Molly Wise back to serve for the Saints. Taryn Peterson going to get a pretty good setup there on the scramble. Saints defend it. Cheryl going to get a good set. The block helps the Spartans defend it. Taryn Peterson goes through the block. That lands on St. Albert's side of the court, so that Taryn Peterson kill goes for a point for Exira. EHK 15-6 is that score now. Overpass there from the Saints, but Spartans send it right back. Rollover shot from Cheryl's going to give Exira a good one on it. That does. Taryn Peterson finds a hole in the defense. She's actually going to find the floor here. Give her another kill. She's got 10 on the night, leading Exira EHK. Briley Peterson, the sophomore, back to serve. 8-point deficit here. Coach Reischauer talking it over with the side judge. Had a question for him. We got that all clarified. Briley Peterson back to serve here for the Spartans. Wise setting up Denton on the outside this time. Exira blocks it up and defends it. Taryn Peterson from the middle gets a tip. So the Spartans are going to get a good set here. Cheryl from the outside, and it finds the floor. The defense can't handle it. Side out, 16-7, St. Albert. Cheryl gets her third of the set. Christensen back to serve for St. Albert. Confusion on the serve from Exira EHK. Gets an ace serve for Christensen. Her first of the night. Sends that lead back to 10 points here for St. Albert. Nice effort there from Exira EHK. Taryn Peterson finds the floor once again. Gets that side out, 17-8. Fremont Mills and Mount Air are in set 2. Fremont Mills leading 1-0, but Mount Air leading in set 2, 17-13. Derek Martin on that coverage. Saints setting up a good set off the serve to Naomi Sherrill, and just the basic fundamentals. And Sherrill gets her 9th kill, 4th of this set alone. Actually 5th of this set. 18-8 is that score. 10-point lead. Aggressive serve from Cheryl. Exira does get to it. And they're going to get a good swing at it from Jalen Peterson. Man, good defense from the Saints. Get a set up to Brooklyn Rutledge. She sends it over, but Exira gets a volley continuing on. Rutledge going to get another nice set. That goes through the block. Their block hits the pole. So that's going to be a point for St. Albert. Rutledge with another kill. She has the 4th of her set. She leads St. Albert with 10. Cheryl back to serve, 19-8. Ace serve makes it 20-8. Cheryl with 3 ace serves here. 12-point lead. St. Albert going for that sweep here in this quarterfinal matchup. Cheryl with another nice serve. Exira going to have to get a rollover shot here, so now the Saints going to get a good set out of it. Middle to Lenz. Lenz, nice hit. Actually, bump goes off the ceiling, so the Lenz kill makes it 21-8. Alexa Lenz gets her first swinging kill here. Timeout, Coach Reischauer, and it is late here in set 3. We'll be back.
High school juniors and seniors, don't miss the Next Gen Tech Expo, November 8th in Council Bluffs. Hosted by Agrivision Equipment and Prairieland Partners, this is your chance to show off your skills and compete for a chance to win prizes and a spot in the 2026 We Lead Technician Institute. Earn paid tuition, tools, housing, benefits, and a paycheck. Register now at agrivisionequipment.com.
Our name says it all. We're Total Farm Solutions. This is Eric with TFS, and when it comes to your operation, we want to be your total partner in and out of the field. We're your Pioneer seed dealer, along with bulk options and seed treatments. And we study genetics, offering scouting and agronomic solutions. Taking care of our customer is part of our total service. We're Total Farm Solutions. Give us a call or find our office just outside of Carson.
All right, welcome back here, KMA listeners. Stella Olson checking in, the freshman for the Saints. She'll be serving with a 21-8 lead after the timeout here. Couple Saints checking in for the first time. Ava Jones, not her first time checking in, but she's on the front line. Miss hit goes out of bounds on the Spartan side of things, so it's going to be another point, 22-8 the lead for St. Albert. 3 points away here as Olson still back to serve. An aggressive serve from the freshman. She does not get an ace as Exira does scramble and get it back over. This volley continues. Rutledge from the outside, and that's in. Cross court, slam down, 23-8. Rutledge 5 kills in this set. 11 on the night. And Olson back to serve some more here. 2 point away from the sweep here is St. Albert. That serve hits the net. Exira does get it over, though, on one hit. And it's going to be Jones. Ava Jones gets her first good swing on one. She found the floor, and it's set point here for the Saints. 24-8 here, and Coach Lands and her team looking to move on here to the semifinals in Class 1A. Region 6, and that ace serve from Olsen's going to happen. There it is. St. Albert wins 25-8. Just got better as the night went on. St. Albert will move on in the sweep here on this KMA Extreme Class 1A quarterfinal. It is a wrap. 3-0. St. Albert ends the season for Exira EHK. Coach Reichauer and their squad ends at 13-13 on the year. Good run them from the end of the season. They had a nice little push here in their postseason run, but their season does come to an end for the Spartans. St. Albert Saints will live to see another day. They will face the winner of Audubon and Woodbine here on Monday at St. Albert. We'll be back right after this to bring you a little bit of some stats here on this game.
Is believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett'sAutoCenter.com.
Sure what you want to do with your life? Feel like your job is at a standstill? Get your foot in the door with area manufacturing companies at Iowa Western Community College's SEAM program. Sign up now in the Center of Excellence for Advanced Manufacturing through IWCC. Classes are just 2 early evenings a week with holidays and summers off. Improve your current skills and learn new ones that will give you a new career or even enhance your current one. For more information on SEAM, contact IWCC's Clarinda Center at 712-542-5117. Sure what you want to do with your life? Feel like your job is at a standstill? Get your foot in the door with area manufacturing companies at Iowa Western Community College's SEAM program. Sign up now in the Center of Excellence for Advanced Manufacturing through IWCC. Classes are just 2 early evenings a week.